end of Dragon Ball Daima has been confirmed, and finally, we see superhero DLC in Sparking Zero right here on today's episode.
No. Yeah, we're back, dude. Another week, another Daima.
All right, guys, welcome to Key Moments. What's up? There's been a lot of stuff. First off, Dotto, we did not address something last week. Not many people commented on it, and I'm not even remotely surprised, but the dub is out.
Yes, I actually just retweeted. I just saw, but the thing is, Nano, the dub is out, but only episode 1, right?
Well, two as of today.
Episode 2 as of tomorrow, which for you listening might be whenever.
Yeah.
But the point being is 3 episodes released in theaters. Fully dubbed, so just another Dragon Ball dub L, unfortunately, even though it does sound really great. I saw a clip of Goku talking as a kid, and I can't wait to rewatch it in English.
I don't know if I'm in the mood to immediately rewatch this show. I'll probably watch episode 8. I'll watch Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and then I'll probably start maybe next week with the beginning of next week's episode, because we did just watch episode 14 of Daima Taboo, which you can check out. I click the link down below in the description. Go to our Patreon to support us there, or just clicking join if you're on YouTube to check out all of our bonus content when you support us through one of those forums, like bonus podcast reactions, bonus gameplay thing, all kinds of things. And that episode was good. Today's episode was a lot better overall than last week's episode, for sure. Last week's episode,
that was a very low bar. That bar was on the ground, bro.
I guess that brings me to a conversation that makes last week's episode even worse, is that at least it appears to be confirmed, because Hulu has sort of revealed their slate of when shows are going to end, and one of them was Dragon Ball Daima, and the ending of Dragon Ball Daima is on February 28th. Which, if you do the math, would be episode 20 of the show. It is even titled Dragon Ball Daima Finale. So the series, if you include next week's episode, starting episode 15, has 6 episodes left until it's over, which then makes last week's episode really, really weird. You know, and I get some people's argument of the whole adventure side of things. But when you're working with such a limited time, we already got so much adventure in the first half of this series. I don't know that we needed an entire episode dedicated to it. I think there's just so many ways to balance these things, and you can do them a little bit better than I feel like they have done in some ways. And last week's episode is a prime example of, I think, not balancing the remaining time we have with this show, because it all goes away. February 28th, it all goes away. Unless you want to rewatch it in dub, we're back to having nothing, Dotto. We have no ongoing Dragon Ball anything again. So,
I mean, it's going to be a sad time. But yeah, I feel like one thing that I am going to have to start being harsher on, Nano, something you said is that we had so many adventure episodes. But to be honest, the adventure, a big part of Daima to a lot of people, especially during the controversy arc, is the adventure part and how people like focusing on that. I feel like we really only got a good world building adventure in that first demon world journey, that romp. Yeah. We saw stores, we saw how the people live, we saw all this. Going into World 2, and one of our whole episodes was dedicated to just that planet Giga. Really, World 2 was just a bunch of water, and the squid, and then the Tamagami fight.
Oh, hang on. Was that Giga or was that Mega? And there was the one that was bigger that was Giga.
Oh, yeah, yes. Mega and then Giga.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, we were on Mega. And then,
because they wouldn't have survived on Giga. They ain't like that, honestly.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's basically the whole reveal. But basically what I'm saying is I'm about to start docking points from the adventure aspect as well. Planet 2 was a pretty big miss on the adventuring part, because I feel like we spent too much goddamn time at the tail end of Planet 1 faffing about when there was nothing new to gather. They basically, now that we know it's 20 episodes, we're definitely not going back to Planet 1 for any reason. Probably.
No.
I hope.
Maybe
anyway.
Drop off Pansy?
Yeah, at the very end or something. But I just feel like it was a great little adventure thing. And then we got that super nice Tamagami fight. And then I think we faffed around for way too much time. And I think part of that was just the groups taking forever to link up, seeing Vegeta go through all the same things that Goku did. It's like, damn.
Never forget when they circled back to only say, you can't ride with us.
Fucking horrible, dude. That episode pissed me off the most of any episode. At least the one on Planet Mega, that was a cool little adventure. It was way too filler. I'm gonna be honest. For a 20 episode series, now that we know it's concluded, I already felt this way last week. Way too filler-esque. Especially when we'll get to in talking about this week, the one big plot event that happens completely doesn't matter in this week's episode. Completely done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the show is losing adventure points now that we're officially in 3, which I do think that 3 is going to get some stuff, and it's mostly going to be a fight. And we've already kind of seen it from R and Sue's perspective, but 2 was a wash on adventure. It was a complete wash, unless I'm forgetting something.
No, I mean, I would say the most adventure-esque thing they did was what we just talked about, the Planet Mega thing. I think the only time where they sort of did any type of exploration, because we never visited Shin's home, because again, it's like apparently a wasteland and all of that. We visited Namek, but also a wasteland, or not Namek, but the Namekian's home in the second demon realm. But there's it definitely was missing the world building, what you were talking about specifically from that first 5-6 episodes before we got to the Tamagami fight post leaving Earth. So yeah, I don't know. It's been a very interesting takeaway, which you could say this about so many series, but you take away Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and I just I don't know. We got Ku, but again, that's not really related to being. That's not second Demon World adventure. That's third Demon World adventure, or first actually.
But man, Ku but even that's more focused on the character.
Ku and Do are so cool. I'm sorry, I don't know. They did such a good job. I love these two characters. These two characters were here in today's episode, and they were, minus that last little bit, they were definitely a highlight easily for me of this episode. Not even questionable. I don't know. I like these two. I like these two a lot. But Donna, before we dive into the episode, any comments on the Sparking DLC? We have our first actual DLC. It probably would have came faster, but it probably was also just planned to coincide with the finale of their tournament that they're doing. That I haven't looked to see what they're doing now. The battle hour isn't taking place, so now it's just kind of releasing here. Are you? I imagine you're excited. It's Beast Gohan, it's Orange Piccolo, it's the Gammas.
Yeah, that was a dumb question, bro. Am I excited? Yeah, bro. I'm excited to have that hype behind Spark and Zero again, and just to see the animation. I mean, not even to see the animation, just to play the characters. But yeah, I think it's a pretty beefy DLC, all things considered. I don't think it looks great. But I was talking to you before the podcast. I definitely feel a little bit of that conspiracy theory-esque, I feel like they're holding the game back in some regards to not just blow Spark, the source material out of the water just because it's based with 3D models as well. Still looks great, obviously, but I think they could have done so much more.
Okay. I mean, I think Spark, the Sparking versions of these characters, at least in stills, look as good as their movie counterparts. In stills, maybe not totally emotion. There are definitely always going to be weird frames in Sparking because you're talking about a game with such a vast majority, a vast roster and majority of characters and stuff. So there's just going to be weird frames that you can pause it on, but there are some pretty good still moments for sure of these characters that look super impressive. I saw people were sad about 3 things is what I saw, and I honestly won't lie. I only thought of one of them while I was reacting to it, and that was no pan. I thought there might be a pan.
Wow.
I thought there might be a pan. It really doesn't make or break for me specifically. I didn't really care. But you know what I did not think about that I saw people saying oh, I can't believe they aren't here is Gotenks. I didn't even think about Gotenks.
Oh, yeah. Well, to be honest, that's because he was a complete joke and a waste of space in that movie. But that is, unfortunate. Goten and Trunks, a little more of a miss than the Gotenks. Fat Goten. It would have been fun. I guess it would have been fun, but I'm gonna be honest, Gotenks is that shit is a piss me off element, bro. I still hate that he just we fucked up the fusion again, haha. Well,
and then we get another ongoing thing and they make them babies again.
yeah, I know.
Well, they wouldn't have been teens here anyway, but yeah, anyway.
The manga came through though. It started coming through a little bit.
Yeah. And then the one thing I saw people say, which, man, I guess Bandai they just don't be focusing on this on any of their games. They don't have their devs focused on this in their games, but no new stages.
Yeah, that is a pretty big. Yeah, because you can easily get 2 good stages out of superheroes like thing, like the Red Ribbon Army, and then like the destroyed Cell Max Laboratory and stuff. You could probably squeeze out a lot. What is with the video games not doing stages anymore? I actually hate that.
Yeah, no, it's well, also too. I mean, I think one of Sparking's biggest probably mishaps are its lack of stages. There's really not many stages in this game.
Yeah, there's like 4 day and then 8 if you separate the day and night, which I definitely don't.
No, I mean they're the same stages that have a different aesthetic. So yeah, I genuinely, I guess because I've just have gotten so used to stuff not including stages that I didn't even mention stages, and there was lots of comments about it, and I was like, oh yeah, stages. That's something they could have definitely gave us, and they didn't. I won't lie, Dotto, and maybe we'll have to get in game. We'll have to see, but was sad to see the only costume is the one for Piccolo, and since it's a new Gohan, I'm not gonna hold my breath that we get to put him in the black suit.
Which black suit?
Like the one from Buu Saga.
Oh no, definitely not. No shot.
I want that dude though, dude. It would look so sick.
No shot. I think yeah, it's kind of, you know what, they did include 3 custom battles, which I saw that and I was like, if they're just custom battles that they made like that and that's all they did, like if there's no voice acting, I'm gonna be so upset that they even listed that as content.
That was another thing. I saw people were sad that there was what appears to be there's no story, and I'm like, I guess to me, I wasn't even anticipating story with these DLC packs. Like I'm not expecting the Daima DLC to have anything to, because like the way they handled story being specifically to the characters, I just didn't, in my mind, I didn't foresee them going back to Piccolo and Gohan's arcs and adding more missions. Did you?
I was kind of hoping they would do like, because the what ifs were so good, even though they were mostly just good from like an idea perspective. Like they had some like cutscenes and especially with, it's been long enough, there's going to be a spoiler though. Even though I haven't played it, I've seen it at this point. The Gohan Black, like that to me was enough like customization wise that I was like, oh, this has like some DLC potential.
I cannot believe they're just willing to do stuff. By the way, I cannot believe they haven't made that playable.
Yeah, I just feel like I would want for DLC, like I know they're just doing the characters at the bare minimum shit, but come on, bro, like stages I feel like should be there at a minimum as well. And then if you're gonna do more, like some actual story DLC would have been cool. But the thing is, being honest, the story mode in Sparking Zero is pretty lackluster anyway. It's not like the cutscenes are just in game, like
it has
like
very,
you can
very
do them
highs
in,
and lows.
It does.
I will say, Dotto, and I said this when I was doing my playthrough. You can clearly tell. I'm assuming most of you guys played Sparking, but if you didn't, they do it character episodes, and so you choose a character and that you play their story, and specifically Piccolo. So Piccolo's story ends at, I want to say, Cell Saga. Piccolo's story is done as Cell Saga. There's nothing else to his story. He really needed the superhero DLC to be base game so that his story could at least have a little more meat and for you to do some of the superhero stuff and them to animate out some of the superhero stuff. So that not like, and then same with Gohan. Gohan's obviously a little more like Meteor, but it would have probably had a better, I mean, granted, they saved that substantially by giving us Gohan Black, like you just mentioned, but having the superhero arc would have added a lot to his total story. So I was just looking because I was curious. They've not released how much these are going to cost individually. You can buy the season pass for $35. I was just trying to look at like from a cost basis, like does it feel a little scammy that we're not getting story stages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, if we didn't count all the forms, you're getting 5 characters here. You know, you split that 3 ways, it's a little under $12 a piece, which would make each character about $2 to $3.
Is this but the season pass is everything, right?
The season pass, so the season pass is $34.99. It includes, the season pass includes the superhero DLC, the Dragon Ball Daima Part 1 DLC, and the Dragon Ball Daima Part 2 DLC. So you're getting 3 DLC packs that they state here will include 20 plus characters. So I mean, again, if we I'm not doing the sparking thing where I'm counting like, you know, Gohan counts as like 4 characters or something like that with this, or I think, right? Because he's got
I think that's how most people would look at it, especially people spending money. They're not going to be like, oh, sick, 11 characters.
Yeah. So it's like 5, right? It's Cell Max, Piccolo, Gammas, and Gohan. So it's 5 characters. You think that it's about $12 to buy it. So it's about $250 a character. That's not terrible, really, like in the grand scheme of things, but I'm also not someone that necessarily thinks they needed to be DLC. I mean, dog, Superhero was 2+ years old when this game launched. Superhero,
dude, that's like, the curse of being the newest fucking thing in Dragon Ball, dude. It actually just sucks. You never want to be the newest thing because they're gonna treat it like that's the reveal for the rest of their lives. Like, oh yeah, well, guess what? They're still revealing Beast Gohan after a 5-second pause of darkness, like he's sick. Like, yes, he is, but
it's
the same as like,
old, man.
it's the same as 3 seconds of darkness before Super Saiyan 3 Goku, guy. Like, we get it. He's been here for years, forever.
So, because I saw a couple of people that are like, man, this feels really money hungry, and not to turn this into an entire gaming podcast for the millionth time, but like, I think that you've seen an uptick in DLC, and you see like all these microtransactions, all this shit, so that games can stay their $59.99 and their $69.99 and all of that. And that's how they're getting you to spend closer to that $100 on their game to make up for how expensive it is to make these games these days, because inflation is a bitch and it is what it is. So
I'm going to look up one.
But I do think of all the things, I'm still very much so someone that I wanted to believe that Superhero was base. Like, Superhero is base. I actually had a comment on it. I responded to him. Someone said, wait, so still no Super 17? And I'm like, Super 17 in a superhero pack? Like, what? Why would you even remotely expect to see Super 17 in a Dragon Ball superhero pack? It makes no sense. Like, if you were waiting on Super 17 in that pack, I don't know what like, genuinely, and not as a meme, like, I don't know what to tell you. What were you looking at that?
Yeah, I just wanted to see how like that new Space Marine game was doing. I hadn't checked in on that in a while. And it mostly because
did really good. That game sold super well.
I just wanted to see like I feel like one big problem with Sparking Zero, especially on social media. I think it has many problems. One of them being that you
didn't Steam charts it, right? It looks pretty bad.
Did it? Oh no, I didn't.
It's like dipping under 2K now.
I think one of the biggest problems with Sparking Zero.
That matters, by the way. I really don't think that matters. That people put too much weight onto that. Anyways, go ahead, Donna.
Well, I just think it's not a live service game. It's not something like that it does that with. But I do think that a majority of players, especially people that post and talk about stuff online, which again, this is a big majority of players. I just think they like that. Like, that's what they like. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to talk about. But this game isn't going to change anything massive. Nothing's going to be patched. There's not going to be like these big drops. And people are going to come and check out the DLC. I just don't think it's ever going to be. Sparking Zero is never, ever going to be the popular game to play. It's not going to have like a community like that. It's going to have a community. It's just going to be niche. And granted, not even that niche. I'm not even talking fighting game niche. I'm just talking like, I don't know. You're not. I don't think people are going to get the experience that they think it's going to be.
It's just where my brain goes to. It's not Fortnite.
It's not going to be Fortnite. It's not even going to be close.
It's not going to have like live events.
It's not going to be Marvel Rivals.
Godzilla like ravage like a.
Yeah, it's not even going to be Marvel Rivals. I saw, because I've been seeing a lot of comments under Marvel Rivals like shorts like, man, remember when we thought Sparking Zero was going to do this? And I'm like, dude,
who thought it was going to do that? It's not a live service game, dog.
It's just like, but that's how people hyped it up and talk about it. And I get it. Also, another big problem, and I just want to get on my soapbox about this because I was trying to tell people this before the game came out. Good Sparking Zero play does not look or play like how people want good Sparking Zero play to look and play. Rhyme tweets about it a lot, like everybody. In fact, every normal person. Again, if you are a normal person and your Sparking Zero gameplay looks like the anime, congratulations, you're playing the game wrong. Like, the way you play this game is to gimmick and cheese and then do all the other stuff. Admittedly, this was way worse in the base patch, but I do think that is a very legitimate complaint. What I'm not trying to do is sit up here and say Sparking Zero is not super popular because only because of this one thing. It definitely did do some stuff wrong. Just none of the stuff that I actually cared about. I would still stand by what I said about Sparking Zero when it came out. To me, it was shockingly good at being a Budokai Tenkaichi 3 again.
I mean, yeah, I think it did its job perfectly fine. Like, I have no qualms with this. But yes,
Nano.
What?
If I could say one more thing to the Bandai employees watching, yeah. Sparking Zero will never serve as a good a base as a fighters game would. It's just not as competitive. It's not gonna. The DLC isn't gonna have the legs that a fighters DLC would.
So okay, that's where I was about to go with this. So I just in a video with Slay and Sauce spoke about this, and they both acted like I don't know. They acted like I shouldn't be saying that, or the people are gonna get really mad at me. And I'm like, I think most people agree with this take because you just said it. So I don't know if you ever got suggested the live streams when they were doing all the semifinals and all that stuff, building up to what they're doing with Sparking at Battle Hour with their tournament they're holding. But I would sometimes click into them and watch them for a second, and I was like, dog, this game is just like not fun to watch. Like at least with someone playing with the intention that they are trying to win a tournament. They're not playing to have fun. Maybe they are a little bit, but like for the most part, their intention is they want to.
Well, winning is fun, yeah.
Winning is fun, yes, but like they want to win at all costs, and I get most of us want to win at all costs, but it comes at a price of it just is not interesting to watch. Like, and I left it on. I was trying to give it a chance. If anything, I was just watching because I was like, man, I need to watch some good gameplay to like get back to this game. This was like a few weeks ago, a month ago now, or something like that. But anyway, and I'm just like, dog, like this game is just like not fun to watch. And my comparison to them was, and I hate bringing it back to this, but you just said it too. Like I would tune into the fighters tournaments all the time, even the ones that weren't like the big tournaments. Like I would just watch, like Lotus is going live to like cover or react to them. I'm like, I would just tune in to watch because fighters is just a fun game to watch at a very high level, or you're not. Like it's just there's so much more entertaining to watch two people go at it in Dragon Ball Fighters than it is in Sparking at a high level. Just 100%. It's not even.
I don't even think it's biased or anything like that. I literally just think
it's more understandable too. Like
it's more understandable. It's like easier to watch.
It's like watching sports. Yeah. Like you can sit down and watch a football game and you know what's going on pretty quick. Even if you don't know what's going on, you know what I mean. Like it's fairly simple to understand.
They don't want them to move the ball that way, and they do.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
But yeah, I think. I mean, yeah, no, I just fully agree with that take. I do think that what they said, it probably isn't popular because more people like arena fighters. Like more people are decent at them. Which, dude, the next gaming podcast, I want to lay in to a certain group of people so fucking bad, dude. Okay. I hate casual gamers. Idiots is what they actually are. You have to be an idiot to think this way. I'm sorry, but it's true. But and this is also the thing that's happening with Rivals, dude, is people like pro players will drop their takes. And again, dude, you ever seen that curve of like, what's it called? Like people that are really smart tend to doubt their abilities, where people that are really dumb tend to overestimate themselves. That happens so often in gaming. I thought it was a fighting game thing until Rivals. It's like, I think at the highest level, and again, this is my opinion. I'm sorry, this could be proven wrong. It's my opinion. Mr. Fantastic is rather weak and his ultimate is not that good. And then some fucking silver player will drop a screenshot of them going 25-5 against bots. Maybe, who knows? It's like, I don't think so, bro. It's like, what is this? You think you going 25-5 against potential AI proves anything? Anyway, that was my rant. I had to get it out of my chest. I fucking hate that so much. That actually triggers the shit out of me. But yes, back to Fighters. Dude, Bandai, you messed up. Fighters was such a good billboard. You do a battle hour event, you do anything, and you just drop like we're going to have a DLC announcement at the end of this event. The eyes on that event, it just like, it goes up. That's with any announcement, but I feel like Fighters, and this could be biased, was just like the perfect carrot on a stick. It was perfect. It was like a good little eye show. It was competitive. Oh, so good, dude. It was so good.
It is weird. Like I remember, not remember. I don't know. What I'm saying this like, but when they just announced the Evo lineup, like what 3-4 days ago, a part of me wanted to see Fighter. Like, not a part of me, a lot of me, and I knew it wasn't going to be there, but I just wanted it to be there because it's just such a fun game to watch. Like I imagine there are so many people that watch that game that do not even care about Dragon Ball at all because they just like Fighters is such a fun game to watch people play. I don't know. That game is truly special. I should have played it way more. I mean, I still could, but did you check out the patch, the 365 like mod or whatever? Did you check that out at all?
No, I don't even know. Oh, you mean like bringing it back to the old version?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I'm outside the Fighters realm on this. I don't even feel that way towards the game that a lot of people do. I don't think it ever got necessarily worse at any certain point. I don't think, especially not bad enough that I'm nostalgic for anything, you know.
Got it. Okay.
So not my cup of tea, honestly.
Can we bridge one final thing since we're talking Dragon Ball gaming before we talk about today's episode?
Okay.
Did you see the Breakers news?
Nope.
Oh,
but what was the Breakers news?
So they dropped a little like producer type letter basically, and it had a roadmap. Oh,
Breaker. Oh, you said Breakers, right?
I did say Breakers, yeah. So you did see
okay,
it.
Yes, I did see this, and yeah, go ahead, bro. Deliver the news.
So if you're a Breakers player, and even if you're not, this is still, I guess, semi-interesting. Dragon Ball Breakers, an asymmetric 7v1 Dragon Ball game where someone plays the villain and 7 people don't actually play characters from Dragon Ball. They play humans that can possess the powers of characters from Dragon Ball from time to time. Typically gets updates every 4-ish months. And it's still going to get some updates, but that usually includes a raider, aka the bad guy, and then also new characters and new moves. And the remainder of this entire year, 2025, according to their roadmap, there's only one new raider coming out for the entire year. They're going to rework 3 raiders. Not totally sure what that means. People have been assuming that the one that we're going to get after the anniversary will be Golden Frieza. And so that would probably be a rework. And what made me think of this is because you were talking about being nostalgic. Depending on what a rework means, and if they change how Frieza works, and Frieza is now like a DBS Frieza that doesn't have like Zarbon and Dodoria attached to him, like that's gonna kind of, not that I play Breakers a ton, it's gonna make me a little bit nostalgic if you can't play that version of Frieza anymore because they reworked it into a Golden Frieza.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that, but I just mostly saw that there was going to be one new one. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, but not only that, just one new one and only like a handful of transfers, which means a handful of new characters and new skills, which like typically, like again, I'm not the biggest Breakers guy, so this is more of like an Iron Cane type thing. You can comment on this, but typically there's like multiple different new skills, new transformations, etc. that come out. Like over the course of the entire season, not just 1 or 2, like multiple per month. And I told them the writing was on the wall when the 2nd anniversary didn't introduce a new map. Dude, apparently they're so stingy on these maps, Dotto. Didn't introduce a new map, barely introduced any new I think it didn't introduce a single new transfer, just a new skill for Beast Gohan. So much superhero shit lately. Like I was like, dude, I think the writing on the wall, brother. Like this game is not in a good state. And then like they got hope because they came out and it confirmed there was at least gonna be another season. And now the another season is not a new anything. It's just a rework of a raider and I think 1 new transfer. That's like they're supposed to sustain people for 4 months, Dotto.
It is over. It is in fact over.
And no new raider for anniversary, Dotto. There's going to be the 3rd anniversary would be like in October, November, and according to their roadmap, there will not be anything new for that. So
yeah, I mean it's completely over. It is done.
I got to get the plat on that game before it shuts down.
Yeah, I better start. I got to start
like
going now.
Yeah. That's going to be an unattainable platinum sooner than later because I don't know, they might leave it up for a while, but I mean it'll become it's already pretty dead anyway, and like they don't do updates, it'll get real dead. You'll be sitting in queues for forever to try to find.
Unless you queue in with people, yeah, no, you're cooked.
It makes me sad. I really enjoy. I don't think people believe me when I say this. I enjoy Breakers. Like it's a nice change of pace from your typical Dragon Ball stuff. So
I think it's a fun concept that it was just never going to be popular. It was just never going to be popular. I literally,
yeah.
And we've talked about this. I hate that people try to like, oh, I want a laser tag game with the Dragon Ball franchise. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Who are you're not? Why are you lying to these poor billion-dollar companies? You're going to make them lose money.
I still think a Devil May Cry style game as Trunks would do well.
Well, a single player?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can make anything once, I say that about YouTube videos, probably a little less stakes than a AAA game, but I actually would agree if you're just going to take like a Dragon Ball thing. I think the one thing stopping that is that's too creative, and ain't no way you getting a creative Dragon Ball game, brother.
Dude,
I mean,
Otto, I can't remember who I was talking to, but they asked if this is one of my IRL friends, and they're just like, so anything new Dragon Ball this year? I'm like, actually, yes. I was like, maybe. I'm like, maybe there'll be something else too. Like, you just never know with the Dragon Ball IP. Like, they used to pump out 2 games a year, and he's like, oh, well then what is it though? And I'm like, we're getting the MOBA. The MOBA should be coming out this year. And he's like, oh, I don't count that. I'm like, what the fuck? Why don't you count that? Like Project Multi is probably gonna be one of the better Dragon Ball games ever made. As long as the bot shit is like sorted out and we are getting consistent characters. It's gonna be so important that game gets consistent character drops. That is just so important for a MOBA building.
I mean, dude,
roster.
the thing is, I love multi. I'm so excited. It's cooked anyway, dude. They're not gonna release costumes. They're gonna make no money because they're gonna sell stupid fucking. Nobody's gonna listen to Nano. The future's set in stone. Nothing will change. It's so cooked already. So I'm gonna fully enjoy multi for the 6 months we're gonna have it.
No, dude, don't say that.
It's over. It's dead. They're not gonna do costumes.
Dude,
they won't.
Right, hang on. I hate the shit on Breakers, but if Breakers can make it through 2 years, Project Multi, a free-to-play game that's gonna be available on phones and PCs and potentially consoles, will make it at least 2 years as well.
I hope so.
I'm not
I
gonna
hope
wood
so.
while I'm saying it, but if Breakers can do it, I believe. A free to play like actual fighting game. By the way, it's an actual fighting game. There's fighting.
That is true. That does help.
Whereas in Breakers, you're just running away. There's not much fighting to Breakers. Like I believe if Breakers can do it, then Project Multi can last at least 2 years. And if that game if I get it 2 years with a live service, an actual live service, Dragon Ball MOBA, you know what? I'll count it as a W, and I'll forever I'll remember that one. You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna. The one thing it has going for it is it's gonna be gacha, so people will have to spend a lot of money.
Oh my god, dude!
I mean, that's true. They're gonna need to because nobody's dropping fucking 20 V-bucks on a fucking Krillin police officer outfit. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, or Batman Vegeta. We could come up with what they can probably do for costumes in about 5 minutes, and then we're like,
exactly. They'll be cooked.
They're gonna have to purposely put them in the most basic of their outfits, just so they can sell you on like battle damaged Goku, which by the way is one of the ones they did, and they counted as legendary. To play Super Saiyan Goku in his battle damaged form from Planet Namek literally was a legendary pull off the gacha. It's absolutely insane. Anyways,
I fucking hate anime games.
Let's discuss today's episode 14 Taboo of Daima. I will be real, in terms of an episode recap, there was a decent amount happened in this episode, but at the same time, the cliff notes you can go through pretty quickly. The important one here. Oh, sorry, Dado, did you want to start us off?
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, kill it, bro. You can do this in one shot.
You alluded to it, but in episode 13, the primary thing that we walked away from in last week's episode of the podcast was if there was anything we take away from this, what we considered from a key moments stamp of filler approval. We called that filler, but not jokingly, actually filler. You could skip that episode. So for all you dub watchers out there, you can skip that one if you want to. I don't. Anyway, they didn't drop it in one mass. They could have just dropped all the episodes and be totally caught up. We could have watched today's episode in dub, but they chose not to do that.
That would have been awesome.
Wouldn't that have been so sick, dude? That's what they should have done. And people are like, well, they wouldn't do that because then they couldn't get your subscription for the next 3 months. And it's okay, but dog, it, just for the sake of just it, would get so many more people excited and build the community out. And anyway, you could skip that one. Even more so now after this week, because the only thing that happened was they shut down Warp Summit, which if somehow you're not watching Diamond, you're just listening to us. Warp Summit is how they travel through the 3 demon realms, because there used to be holes that allowed you to go through to the different demon realms, and they had to close them off because too much free travel. So you had to go through these Warp Summits, shut them down. Well, guess what Neva does? Nevo, however you say it, does today. he completely opens the portals. So now the holes that have been shut and Goku got electrocuted from touching it today, he just casually opens them back up. So there's free travel through the third, second, and first demon realm. And our main characters are officially in the first demon realm where Goma is. That's really the main plot of this episode. That's like the big takeaway. We also got, which Dato, did you see this? How did you call this in our reaction? You started talking about the Ginyu Force, and then we immediately get the most, we have that at home Ginyu Force thing I've ever seen.
To be fair, I went to, and this is the only point in this episode I'm going to say, I went to the Florida Comic-Con today, and I met the English voice actor for Ginyu and had him sign a poster, Nano. So that's why I was talking about it. Check these out. And the voice actor for Beerus, also nice. But check him out. Pretty sick. I even got him signed to Dato so that I could show without docs. But yeah, no, go ahead.
About just calling your real name.
People do know my real name, so it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But I was just,
please don't call me Tyler. By the way, people don't know
sign it to Dato. Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't. Thanks, AKA Nanogenix.
Thank you. But we do get introduced to a Gindamari version of the Ginyu Force. Like truly, they were definitely something. My favorite part of those characters specifically is that they do go to a Goma Mart. It's crazy. I guess when you're the king of the demon realm, you get to put your like logo on everything. So it's just a market of sorts. And Ku and Du are in there buying chocolate, and like the elite Gindamari crew walks in, offers to buy them all this chocolate, and then they have no money, so they can't do it. But we did get to see Ku and doing this. They were at the market trying to buy some chocolates. So that was sick. And we maybe saw Glorio do some shenanigans with the Dragon Balls because Dato put down hopefully our final plane crash.
Yep, this is it. I think this is the final plane crash. So honestly, stand up and fucking salute to a moment of silence for possibly the longest running plot device of all time, the plane crashing. Truly the greatest adventure of our time. Thank you for your service.
I'm just glad it's done, hopefully.
And it went down in a ball of fucking fire.
So we're here. Hopefully we have no reason to get another plane and have it crash under any circumstance at all. If that was supposed to be a bit, it didn't land for me. I was pretty over the plane stuff. But as they're jumping out, the only two left on the plane are Hybis and Glorio, because again they have entered the first demon realm from the hole that was previously sealed and that never opened for us. And the plane can't handle, I guess, the heat because it's really hot in the first demon realm, especially up in the sky because you're closer to the sun, I believe is what Glorio said. And so Hybis jumps out and then Glorio jumps out, and there could absolutely be some like shenanigans that happened with the Dragon Balls there because again Glorio is working for RN2 to hopefully steal the other two Dragon Balls that RN2 doesn't have. But other than that, that's about the gist of it. The episode actually ends with the crew literally in the first demon realm being shot at and running from the Gindamari. So
yeah, it's this is the beginning of the end episode, basically. It better be, but it that's what it feels like.
Is there anything you feel like I missed that is of note here? I don't.
Gonna be honest, you could have just said the walls came down and they flew in and the plane crashed and that was about it.
But it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was fine. You know, it didn't take much to pass the last one, and they did. I'm still wondering why they introduced this bootleg Ginyu Force. They did play opposite Du and Ku. And that got a little smile out of me, maybe even a chuckle or two. So, you know, already putting up a higher score count than Hybis. But yeah, you know,
and before Hybis ends up being like your favorite, he does something really sick, and you're just like, oh,
isn't the next episode called Evil Eye or Watchful Eye? I'm looking it up.
The Third Eye.
Third Eye, yeah. So
next week's preview does show off a Deborah is what it appears to be. So next week's episode is called Third Eye. Definitely a lot of action in this one, presumably showing not much of anything, and we do see Deborah with his hand out and a key, and the episode is literally called Third Eye. So if Goma has a final form, we will maybe see it next week. This is definitely, I would say, like, to put out a PSA here, and also hopefully for Dato and I as well. Next week is a definite stay off the internet till you see the episode, probably. If
I would say so, yes. I would say so, and honestly, I would issue a weather alert to maybe just do that for the rest of the series. We are entering choppy waters, the likes of which we have never seen. The plane is out of the picture, folks. The plane is out of the picture, meaning the world is our oyster. And I'm excited. But that's really it. I mean, that's it. That's all that happened.
There isn't too much more to talk about with the episode. We do have book club here really quick. We've got Ratty with Glorio's moments with the gang definitely got to lead up to something. He's definitely going to have a crucial moment around the end where he somewhat betrays Aransu.
Absolutely. I'll just go ahead and jump on this one, Ratty. That is, I do think that's, we talked about this, I think in the episode reaction, or maybe at the beginning of this podcast, poor memory, but honestly, after this episode, flipping the switch on Portal Sama, it's like barely matters now. So yes, other than that was all we got. I do feel like Glorio honestly was never that.
I forgot you're talking about Glorio maybe acting like he kind of liked the crew, right?
Yeah, like we never really saw him got too buddy with these guys, but the closest we got was definitely in the forest. So yes, I would put the deed to my house on, yes, Glorio's gonna have I was on a mission, but you know, and then if I had to put money, if I had to say exactly how it's gonna go, he's gonna betray the group, then he's gonna like feel bad about it, and then he's gonna be like, I kind of still think he's gonna die, but he's gonna like he's gonna have a face turn. He's gonna be like, you know what, the demon world needs you guys. And then, you know, maybe he gets shot in the back by Ku. What if, dude, that actually, Dragon Ball Daima, if it locked the fuck in, this is like cringe fan writing. But if Du and Ku get revealed to just be like, yeah, they're nice guys, but also they take orders from a monster, and they're the ones that kill him, that would go crazy, dude. That would go hard.
I don't think that's that bad. We're actually going to get to some a fan thing in a second that is probably considered way worse. I don't think that's that bad, actually. I could see that being like a very like emotional moment. I did want to ask you while we're here, because we definitely believe this at the beginning. I'm not totally on board with this 100% anymore. Do we think Glorio has like a final form, like a different form?
Hell no. He has shown his card one too many times. He has been too shocked for too long. Yeah. He's cooked.
Yeah, I think Glorio is Glorio. Hamza says, I can't wait. These are on Patreon, by the way. We did pull these from our Patreon. You can become members again by clicking the link down below in the description, or go to patreon.com/keymoments. But Hamza says, I can't wait for the plane to crash again.
He probably got hype. He probably got more hype than we did on this episode.
Time, you guys, for the last time. All right, Dato, hit us with this next one from Jack, man. This one's exclusively for
Jack, BMH. I remember Dato saying the last episode was so hype, he would even be down for the ship to crash again. Okay, but when push came to shove, I wasn't. So I'm a fucking liar, dude. When that ship went down again, I knew I was cooked.
You are on record after that Vegeta aura farming saying like you were down for 3 episodes of pure filler. You said that,
dude. I did, but if you think about it, we took that week break afterwards, so that counts, obviously. And then we came back and the ship crashed, and then I'll be honest, I was wrong. The ship crashed, and I was begging and screaming to let me go. And then the ship crashed again. I can't believe it. But it's over. There's no way it comes back anymore.
Yeah, no way. All right. The real Celza says Nano's so lucky he didn't get caught in the crossfire, even though him and Dato got the exact same take. It depends on what you're talking about, but I think you're actually referring to specifically what got Dato in so much heat was him starting an episode of Key Moments almost immediately saying,
Nano was at 2 stars, and then I said the word filler, and then I went up the straight 5 stars.
Yeah, I was not 100% with him on that. I even tried getting the like.
He tried to make me walk it back.
Media literacy. I go, he is kidding, but no one believed me, bro. Like
he tried to make me walk it back. He tried to make me add some cushion to the take, but the take just came out.
That's what you're referring to. There was no crossfire. I did step in the way for a second, and then when Dato went it back down, I said, "All right, you can have him, bro. Like." He's all yours. And
it was just a mistake is all.
The last book club of this week is they tag stamped the moment where I brought up to Dotto the preview that was this week, which is Goku falling down. And Goku falls down after he tries touching the barrier, which does shock him, which then is what spawns Neva to go ahead and just open them all up. But when the falling, I made a joke that, what if, and he went UI. And they say this is why people make fun of us Dragon Ball fans. Dog, we're just if you can't have fun, if you can't embrace what is modern Dragon Ball, like
I forgot you made that joke, and literally when he was falling, I made the same joke. I said he's gonna touch the barrier and go Demon Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Last book club. Not last book club, but last thing to say here, and I invite you guys to join in. This is your book club moment, you guys. And if there are leaks out there, don't use them. And if you know, then just disregard. Do you think a Super Saiyan 4 form at all is happening, or is that completely cooked? I am on board. I'm on board to say I think that's cooked. I think that I believe, unless Dotto knows something over here as I'm yapping, and he's probably giving you like guys looks. I believe the most hype thing that we can get, if you're looking for like something crazy to happen in the series, is an SSA 3 Vegito. I think we see SSA 3 Vegito.
That would be so fucking lame, dude. It would be cool. But damn, dude. A fusion bug is what's gonna happen.
Wait, okay, let me ask you this, Dotto. If it was actually, you might choose this. I know which one I'm picking. So if you were presented with two pills, one pill was you get the Goku and Shin fusion, or one pill is you get Vegito, but they go Super Saiyan 3. Which one are you choosing? I know what I'm choosing.
I'm
choosing SSJ 3 Vegito. Like
I don't even know.
You guys are welcome to do that too. Book club is open, as you guys noticed. Book club is open to anything. I love you guys interacting with the podcast and in any way possible. But if you want to join in on book club, I will look forward to your.
The thing is, I do want the Goku and Shin fusion. I just don't know if I want that as the finale. Like that's kind of like
you can only pick one. You don't get to have.
Yeah,
multiple.
I guess I would go with Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, but. I don't know. Maybe that's not even true. Maybe I would go with the fusion just to have a little different, like something different, But maybe it would be Vegito. Like it is Buu Saga themed,
There may not be Goku Vegeta fusion. Like that really might not be on the table. It really might just be a Shin Goku fusion, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What are the rules on Potara though? Aren't they supposed to be, even though I know it's not Fusion Dance, you have to be like same power level, all of that. Like that's the key thing with that. But with Potara, I guess that's not a rule, huh? Like
you know what? I don't think Vegito's possible because Super Saiyan 3 Vegito without the earrings would just be. I feel like the earrings are a big part of Vegito.
Oh no, I'm still under the understanding. I know that the bugs will be used. I still think Shin has the earrings there with him as a plot device. I'm still totally convinced that the earrings get used.
Okay,
that's why I think we will see multiple fusions. I just don't know who will actually like end up eating the bug. I don't know. We're going to see them. They didn't. There's no way on episode 6 or whatever it was where they focused on the fusion bugs that they don't actually use them somewhere. That would be absurd. That'd be, man. Anyways, Otto, I think it is time to do what we do every week, and that is give this episode a rating. As a reminder, I'll just go back 2 episodes for you guys. We give episode 12, which is the SSJ 3 Vegeta episode, a Kaio 10. We both gave him Kaio 10s. Only ever been given out 3 times in the history of this podcast of ongoing for over a year now. Episode 13, Dotto gave a 5. I gave a 7. I am not going to change it. We talked about this in the bonus. I wanted to. Dotto said on behalf of the Key Moments ranking Twitter account, I'm not going to change it, but I really want to with the context that we don't have 20 episodes. Because while I did enjoy it in the moment, if I would have had that context last week of, man, we really only have until episode 20, I would have probably given it a 5, at best a 6, which is what sucks about this week because now that has skewed my sort of Daima scale a little bit, but I'm ready to give the score if you are.
Me too. Yeah, I'm the hold up guy.
Okay.
Right.
I think you did last week, but it doesn't matter to me. All right.
Oh shit.
You ready? I'm gonna say it.
I did.
I'm gonna say it. Yeah. 7.
I also said 7.
Yeah. This episode was definitely better than last week's, so that's why I kind of hate that they are like same. I'd be contradicting a little bit. I still enjoyed last week's. It's a limited series, man. It's not a week to week. We unfortunately we don't We don't get weekly Dragon Ball in like 6 weeks, man. Like that actually sucks. That sucks. Like I can't lie. That.
Well, hold on. We still get the finale. Don't get all sad before we even get happy, bro. Because to be honest, I'm giving this one a 7. This is like a light 7. It's not that light, but like a big portion of the episode was never like chanting the
That was
chant.
a long section of that.
It was
episode,
a
actually.
long fucking chant, dog. Like, but the portals are open, and then we got 2 reaction shots of like the 2 different characters, like the wind, and then seeing it, and then like, so there was a lot of downtime, but it is cool, and it is the beginning of the end. So I think them all falling in is like gonna be consistent. Like it's gonna get cooler the more and more. Like if this battle's just on site and this shit just stays like fucking explosions and shit going off everywhere, then this is like the perfect episode, dude. Just to like ramp into that. So I'm giving it a 7 because I think, again, we said this before, Nano, and we were right when we said like I think it's gonna get good, like real fucking quick. It's gonna get good in this one. I feel like some 10s are about to start hitting the board. Like we are gonna see.
I feel like what you're building up to here is saying that you think like 15 through 20 might be like all 9s and 10s.
I'm pitching the idea that we might, in these 6 episodes, I would say a minimum, and this is per person, 3 10s are gonna come out. There's no shot. Okay. There's zero way we walk away, and there's not.
That is
3 10. I'm expecting 3. In these last 6 episodes, if we can't get 3 10s, then fucking put me on the hater train, bro. I've been on the fan train, except maybe I wasn't. But put me on the hater train. I will actually conduct the fucking hater train if I don't get 3 10s out of this shit. Like I'm really expecting it.
So you think that there are 3 episodes? Hang on. Let me ask you this. What about
Go
a
ahead.
Kaioten? Do you think there's a singular Kaioten left?
I'm gonna go ahead. Fuck, dude. This is ultimate glaze, but I'm gonna say yes. I'm expecting 1 Kaioten, but that does count as a third, like 3. Like I'm not saying 3 10s and a Kaioten.
Okay.
But I am saying a Kaioten and then 2 normal 10s.
So you're expecting literally at least 3 more episodes, 8 and 12, essentially.
I'm expecting, yes, 3 more Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta ass episodes, yes.
Okay.
But even better.
Okay. You think
so maybe I should. Oh my god.
I was gonna say, so you think that the Kaioten you're about to give out in one of these 6 episodes actually would diminish the Kaioten?
I think it would strip the last one of the Kaioten. Okay. Yeah, if that was possible, I think it would just take it.
No, I'm with you. As much as I obviously do like SSJ 3 Vegeta, I suspect there is some heat in here. I suspect I will not be on the internet. I suspect I'll be texting you as soon as the episode drops that we need to be at the PCs. We need to be doing that shit because, like, yeah, I think next week is gonna be, yeah. No, I'm with you.
I think next week is still gonna be like a little. Well, it is called the Evil Eye, but then that means Hybus is gonna be involved. Third Eye, yeah. So I don't know why I keep saying, oh, that's because that's Don.
The shot of Deborah is sick, by the way. He looks really cool in this shot of the preview for next week, but
it's going to be good. I don't think next week is going to be a 10. I think it has potential to be one, which is nice. You know, it's nice to have potential. But yeah, I'm expecting great things from Daima starting now.
Hell yeah.
And if it's not, I'm going to be so pissed. I'm going to be honestly, Neto, we've had an upbeat attitude for most of these fights. It could go real sour real quick, dude. It could get fucking sad in here real quick if this shit don't start like.
That'll. I just want to put this out here because I don't think it'll happen. What do you think? How high of the chances do you think that we wrap up the entire adventure within like 2 episodes and the last 4 are like slice of life?
No,
like
absolutely 0% chance. And if that happens, I'm screaming, dude. Imagine we wrap up the adventure in 2 and the next 4 aren't even like connected to the series. They're just like Son Goku and Friends specials. It's like,
it's the part of Battle of Gods that we think is not that great on rewatch. I only say that because, and the only reason I haven't even bringing it up is because what's so weird about this show is, and again, I swear to God, people think I'm crazy for saying this, but the pacing is all over the place because you'll have episodes like episode 8 where it's a fight against Tamagami 3, but then also tons of like things happen in the second episode, stuff that would have taken it 2 or 3 episodes before to happen. And then you go back down to where it's like Okay, not much. And then in episode 12, we got Ku and Do fight Tamagami 1 and win. Vegeta goes SSJ 3, fights Tamagami 2 and wins, like all in one episode. So I'm like, if they decide to actually really progress the story unironically, unless there's still, I think there's still gonna at least be one or two twists that we just cannot see coming. But without those things, they could probably do everything they need to do within like 2 episodes at the pacing that they've done on episodes 8 and 12 in the past. So I don't think there's a world where that happens, but like I think we're in the timeline 310s, and there's no world. I think they'll do what they did with, this is just me, I think they'll do what they did with Super, where Super, I don't, maybe I wasn't looking in insider stuff. I didn't know that Super was ending when we watched the finale. I had no idea that it was going off, and then we weren't getting a series back until Daima. And like that series, unless I'm misremembering, the same episode where we see them all on the yacht is also the same episode where Goku and Frieza and 17 knock Jiren out, right? That's not all the same episode, isn't it?
Maybe. It's been so long I can't remember.
So the reason I'm saying this is because I think this will be full, like you said, all gas no brakes, literally until the very end. Like there will be no slowdown or anything, because it'll just be like, all right guys, well, we're back to normal, and now it's over, it's done. Like we're
time to go home.
Exactly. Yeah. That's this episode 131. They knock, that series is that same episode. They knock Jiren out in the first half. 17 gets his wish, brings everyone back. Goku and Vegeta meet in their original spot or whatever, their canyon, and then the series ends. That is that entire 20-minute. In that 20-minute episode, we see the end of TOP, wishing everyone back. Goku and Vegeta going and sparring in the old spot. Like all that happens in one episode. So yeah, I think they'll treat Daima the same way. It's almost like a YouTube video. You know, when you get to the end, you just kind of like end. That's just kind of like that's what this series will do. Almost like this podcast.